brother. Thanks so much for joining us here today, man.
My pleasure.
Sure is good to have you. So, folks, if you don't know, Cal is here from Death from Above Wargaming today, and this is, our first collaborative effort.
Yep.
I'm super excited about it. To have another fellow Battletech nerd that does YouTube stuff in the same room with me, that's fantastic. So, let's have a little conversation. Let's talk.
Sure.
How'd you get into Battletech, brother?
So, Battletech for me started, 1995-ish with Mech Warrior 2.
All right.
The Ghost Bear expansion intro video. I saw that, the Kodiak jumped out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was hooked. I was hooked hard. That game was my favorite for a while. I had a black t-shirt that said "Feel the Burn." This was before Bernie Sanders, of course.
Right.
It said "Feel the Burn," Mech Warrior 2.
Sure.
And from there it was the video games, and you pick up a little bit here and there from the video games. It's kind of story-wise, and that was always okay, cool. Got some depth to this story, this game. From there, after Mech Warrior 3 came out, it was kind of quiet as far as the video games go, And then a buddy of mine told me one day that he couldn't do something in an evening that we wanted to get together because he was playing Mech Warrior Dark Age, the WizKids Clicks game, right? And it just started like, oh, is that kind of like the video games? and he was like, yeah, but it's tabletop stuff, and he told me all about it, and I was like, oh man, I got to get in on that action. So I started playing the clicky tech. And I did that for a while. Had a regular game on Sundays at a comic book shop in Omaha, and just met a lot of really cool people. Gaming goes.
Oh, sure, especially the Battletech.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some of them were new to the game, and others were they seasoned veterans.
Sure.
And from there, I learned that there's definitely more than just video games and the tabletop click games. I learned about the books, and oh my goodness, there's books?
Right, yep.
They're older than me? Yeah, not quite, but still, I got into it really hard, and that's pretty much it.
Never looked back.
I never looked back as soon as I learned there was more to it.
So you made the jump from video games tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how does that go from making the jump from that to DFA wargaming? So how did you get involved with DFA?
Well, okay, so there's a little bit of a story here. I'll try to abbreviate it here for you. But for a while there wasn't a whole lot of Battletech for me. I lived in Tulsa at the time. And I couldn't find anyone to play Battletech, and I didn't know you at the time
right?
either,
We basically just went like this.
Yeah, exactly. We really did. So I didn't know anyone, so I got out of it. I want to say somewhere in 2018, late 2018, something close to that, I believe. Maybe in the beginning of 2019. I was in a YouTube black hole.
Okay.
And something popped up about Battletech, and it seemed like a riff off of TED Talks.
Okay.
And I was hooked on Text Talks Battletech.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, man, this is so cool. This is still going.
Yeah.
And I started digging back into it a little bit more. And by the time summer came along and the Kickstarter campaign kicked off, and I got in on that on like day 4, I was just, I gotta do this. Yeah,
Understood.
Exactly. Wife completely understood. She was very supportive, and I dug in deep. And from there, I just started really getting back into Battletech. And I'm kind of a data guy by trade, by education, and when in doing some research, I started looking at DFA wargaming on YouTube, and I'm like, man, these cats are cool. They're funny. They do some cool stuff, and holy smokes, this guy right here, he's running some numbers on these things. That's really cool. And I started getting some ideas like, man, I wonder if I could do some of this stuff on my own. So kind of knowing the community and how outgoing a lot of people are and supportive in the community, figure, you know, what the heck, I'm just going to reach out to this guy. And I connected with him on Discord and just sent him a quick IM, just saying like, hey, this is who I am, this is stuff I'm interested in. I was just kind of curious, maybe might be willing to share a few things with me to kind of get me going on this. And Aaron hit me right back, like really quickly actually, and he was just real upfront about things, really supportive about it, was totally interested that I had taken an interest in this stuff. And, you know, one thing kind of led to another. I had ideas, he has ideas, and that was it. I mean, he just kind of invited me in.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
It really is. The DFA Wargaming crew is just really indicative of like the rest of the Battletech community. They were super supportive. When Aaron sent the group email to introduce me, everyone was super supportive and welcoming to me. There wasn't this kind of like exclusionist stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin, Tom, it was just like fitting in with them, and they made me feel very welcome. And to this day, they still do. There isn't that whole new guy thing, you know.
So okay, what keeps you interested in Battletech? Whereas I'm sure you could go off and play however many other things, but you keep coming back. And so what is it that keeps you coming back?
Oh, it's the story.
Yes,
it is the story.
That's the heart.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we've talked about this before. You can sit down and play a game. Just pick a game. At the core of this, let's say it's big robots, and they're shooting each other, and you can play Robot Wars that way, and that's fine. But that's not Battletech.
Right.
It's why.
Sure.
Who's inside these machines? Why are they doing the things they're doing? What brought them here? It's that story. It's the scenario. It's the lore. It's the tension between inner sphere factions, the honor of the clans, all of that.
Sure.
It just
kind of like Game of Thrones
so much
in
fun.
space.
Exactly, it really is, and that's what really captured me and will always bring me back.
So, I know you said you hadn't been playing tabletop for a long time, but I'm sure that between then and now, there's got to be at least one memory that stands out to you. You're just like, you know what? I'll never forget that. That was one of my favorite things. Just tell me about that.
I've got two actually, if that's okay.
Lay it on.
The first has to do with one of my favorite mechs. I was playing a couple clan battle mechs, some Omni mechs, against a pretty heavy inner sphere unit, and my Shadowcat Prime had the Gauss rifle, and in 3 turns, that Gauss rifle had blown the head off of three of my opponent's mechs. 2 of them were heavy, 2 of them were Marauders actually. I think the third was I can't remember, maybe a Zeus or an Atlas. It was an assault, and that was it.
Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it before. I swear I will never see anything like it again. I still lost that game, by the way, but just taking them out like that was just incredible for me.
Oh, sure.
And then there was the first game I played with you, actually.
Down in Tulsa.
Yes.
Okay.
In Tulsa.
That's an interesting story. So.
Yes. So we've got we're in the middle of the Refusal War. We've got Clan Wolf versus Clan Jade Falcon. Huge fan of Clan Jade Falcon, and I'm in a summoner.
Sure.
And there's a Timberwolf over here. Cellbringing's been broken, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm gonna go mess this guy up.
Sure.
And I waltz over and start my declarations, and Taylor does his.
Of course, yes.
And he decides, you know what? I'm gonna open up on this guy with both my Timberwolves LRM-20s at near point blank range.
Yeah.
And he boxcars both of them.
Oof.
And my summoner takes 40 LRMs.
Yep.
that was a painful memory for me, and I'm not going to forget that.
The scion of the Tulsa Battletech League.
Yeah.
he is definitely known for that. So, what is Battletech to you?
Oh, damn. Battletech is everything about gaming that is good. Battletech, being a game, being a tabletop game, has all the qualities of bringing people together. You can play it online, that's fine. But it's the shared moments, being in person, face to face, alongside these people, making friends, using the game as a social outlet that, you know, a lot of gamers don't have those social outlets other than through these games.
Right.
It's the escape from reality where I can be a hero for a little while and these other people can also be heroes with me.
Sure.
It's being part of the universe, this continuing story that has been going on for decades, that people have made so fun, so inviting, so addictive. And it's big robots that pack heat.
I get that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the future holds for the Battletech universe?
Well, we're kind of coming back through a little renaissance.
I've said so myself.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, you know. I mean, I don't know. I would like to think that with the success of the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, with content creators like Death from Above Wargaming, you and Battlebound, the Black Pants Legion, that we can also see a lot of new people coming into the game. People who have not a lot of experience with it or no exposure to it at all, getting involved in the game and hopefully making it as big, if not bigger,
Sure.
than what it has ever been.
I've told people, like, for the longest time, since I've been playing since '96, I got in with MechWarrior 2 like you did.
Yeah.
But I've told folks, as I know several people I talked to on the Battletech Barracks Discord, and they tell me, oh man, you know, I really wish I'd found Battletech sooner. And I tell them, well, you're here now, and that's what's important.
Yes.
But this, in my opinion anyway, is one of the singular best times to jump in. Like, there's never been a better time to play Battletech.
Right.
And I'm sure there's somebody out there in the interwebs that's going to argue with me. But, like, I remember coming in '96, and it was just really at the zenith of its heyday right there. And then it started to go downwards a little bit. And now, you know, I've learned over time it's peaks and valleys. Is
Yes.
what it is. And now we're heading toward a peak, like we're going. And see, when I got in, it wasn't at its peak, it was going down already. Just a little bit, but still, I mean, at that time, it was one of the best experiences I'd ever had. But for someone to get in on it now, you're getting in at the top. Like, I haven't even hit the peak yet. You're getting there, and then you'll get to ride that wave that whole time. And so I've always said that this is still one of the singular best times. If you're going to jump into Battletech, you ain't going to find a better time than this. And speaking of jumping in, how do you feel like you're going to do in today's game? How do you think you'll fare?
Well, I'm biased towards Jade Falcon.
Okay. But if you had to take your clan allegiances out, and that's what I tried to do on the poll, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, where I told the Battletech International community, I told them, don't vote with your hearts, you know, vote with your head. So if you had to remove the clan affiliation and just attack it from that end.
Okay, fair. I'm worried. I'm deeply worried. I'm packing some good mechs with some variety. You're packing a lot of 15 pointers. Aaron at DFA gave me some jabs about that when he saw my list. Yeah. And then I showed him yours, and he was like, "I told you." Told you were trying to be all good with the lore. But yeah, I'm concerned about the speed of one of your mechs, and I'm very concerned about the PPCs and Gauss rifles that you're packing. But I think I'll do all right.
Yeah.
I think I'll do all right.
I gotta tell you, this is kind of a real interesting game for me, Battlebound wise, simply because it's number one, it's the first clan game that we've ever done. So we've never done a clan game before this, but you had originally sent me your forces, and I said, okay, in any clan fight, first thing I do is I say, okay, how many targeting computers am I dealing with, and how many pulse lasers are there in this force? And I went and I looked, and I knew most of these things off the top of my head, and I'm like, that doesn't have any of that. That doesn't have any of that. And then I looked up the things I didn't know, and I was like, oh, there's none of these anywhere. And I'm just not used to that. And so I was like, speed matters again. Oh boy, I can use a phantom, I can use a linebacker. The speed matters. They don't have pulse lasers. All right. So there's definitely a couple of mechs I threw in there that I don't get to use that often. Linebacker, phantom.
Yep.
Just because their speed doesn't matter as much when you're dealing with these kind of guns. But in a situation where I didn't have that, I was like, oh man, I haven't got to use these guys in a million years. So win or lose, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just super excited to sit down at the table with you and be like, I'm using a phantom. Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah.
Ironically. So, whatever happens, I'm cool with that. So, what, in your opinion, makes Battletech unique amongst its competitors? In the wargaming, tabletop wargaming, let's not talk about video games. Just on the tabletop.
Just on the tabletop, I think it's really the lack of such a deep and divisive meta. I don't want to point fingers at other games, especially games that I really like.
Right.
But the community doesn't have such a strong meta where you can really divide people or exclude people from sharing their opinions of why they like the things they like. And that's not really common among other tabletop wargaming games, period. You get to state an opinion, and then you have people tear that opinion apart.
Sure.
Often in a very mean way.
Right. I've seen that.
Yeah, I think we all have. I don't see that a lot in Battletech. To be honest with you, I don't think I have ever seen that in Battletech.
Yeah, I can't recall a time.
Yeah. And I've had more experiences playing Battletech at the tabletop than any other tabletop game where there's laughter, there's fun, there's shared victories, there's shared defeats, and not a lot of argument, not a lot of heat between people, and I like that.
A buddy of mine, we were talking, in fact it was Gene we were talking about, where he said you either win or you go out spectacular.
That's right.
And either way, you did something cool. And it's the 80s rule cool there. So if you can go out in a blaze of glory, just guns blazing, like, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
And then, or you just, steamroll over, whatever it is, and you win. I feel like Battletech has that mix where both outcomes are still like, oh man, that was so dope, you did this thing, and then I went over there and I did this.
Yeah.
And then you have that little post-game chit-chat, which we're going to get to, and believe me, I'm looking forward to that too.
Me too.
So the word around a campfire is that DFA Wargaming has started working alongside Catalyst, who I affectionately call him the mothership. So you're working with the mothership, and I know for a fact you've got some cool stuff in the pipeline coming up. So talk to me just a little bit about what it's like working with Catalyst, and then tell me what you guys got going on.
Yeah, sure. So we're kind of working alongside Catalyst on what's coming up in Ill Clan.
Oh, all right. Awesome.
Yeah, I can't really talk too much about it for obvious reasons, but suffice to say that the Met comparison of the Marauder variants that are in one of the recent Ill Clan drops. That's kind of a taste of it.
Didn't you guys just do a video with that too? Comparing Marauders? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, one of them is just off the charts. Yeah, but you know, most of the work is funneled through Aaron with Catalyst. But yeah, it was pretty much just an agreement that, you know, Ray reached out to Aaron and was like, hey, you know, really like what you guys do, and we think there'd be some cool stuff to work on together in the future as we move into Ilklan.
Awesome.
Yeah, so kind of see some upcoming things and get to drop some content on it and kind of maybe show it off a little bit. So
I like it. You got any special projects you're working on?
So we have an upcoming series on Solaris 7 games.
Okay.
So we're gonna do some Solaris matches, and I'm really looking forward to this one. We've got some cool things happening with that, and we've got a really awesome surprise for our viewers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but just
all right, I won't press you.
fans of Battletech and Mech Warrior will
dig it.
Yeah, they'll dig it hard, I think.
And you were talking about the Solaris 7 thing. Mm-hmm. I thought that was super cool. When I first started this, my whole plan was to do battle reports, but have it be like a Solaris 7 highlight reel. Just hit the high points. You know, be like, okay, we'll move along here, and then we'll start to summarize, and you can tell the story of what happened in the battle. And so that I really dug that idea, the whole Solaris 7 thing. So I'm real interested to see what you guys are going to do with that.
Yeah, I think you'll like it, actually. I think you'll like it. It's kind of got the flavor of the battle reports that we've been dropping, but definitely with a Solaris feel.
Fantastic. Well, I sure look forward to playing with you today, man.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Right.